That knot in your stomach when you check your bank account isn't your fault. You've been following a set of rules designed to make you fail. You've saved 10%, you've cut the lattes, you've paid yourself first. You've done everything right. So why does it feel like you're running on a treadmill, sweating and exhausted, but going absolutely nowhere? If your income has risen but your financial peace hasn't, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because you're playing a game that was rigged from the start. The real enemy isn't your spending. It's a psychological state I call the gravity of broke. It's a thief that lives in your head, stealing your focus, your creativity, your ability to dream past next Friday's paycheck. It's the knot in your stomach when the car makes a new noise. It's the split-second calculation you do at the grocery store, deciding between the brand you want and the one you can afford. This constant cognitive load is exhausting. It's why you can't think about a 5-year plan when you're worried about a $5 purchase. This isn't just a feeling, it's a statistical reality. A 2026 Bankrate report found that 53% of Americans don't have enough cash to cover a simple $1,000 emergency. This is financial gravity in action. So how do you break a law of physics? You don't fight it. You build a machine powerful enough to escape it, and the first part of that machine is the one almost everyone gets wrong. Before you invest $1, before you create a complex budget, your only goal is to build what we'll call a stability buffer. This isn't a vague 6-month emergency fund. It's a concrete, tangible number between $5,000 and $10,000. Now you might be thinking, $5,000? I can barely save $500. That reaction is the gravity talking. It wants you to see it as an impossible mountain. This isn't about saving, it's about targeting a specific mission objective that, once achieved, changes the entire game. This isn't just a financial tool, it's a psychological one. Its sole purpose is to buy back the mental bandwidth that financial scarcity steals from you. Having this specific number gives you your first real target. It's the fuel required to achieve escape velocity. That buffer buys you back your mind. But even with a clear head, you're still trapped inside a system with a fundamental flaw. The math is rigged against you. Every financial guru tells you to play defense. Pay yourself first, cut your spending, find every small leak in your budget and plug it. The logic seems sound. But let's run the numbers on that advice, because this is where the great deception is revealed. Imagine you become a master of frugality. You cut every subscription, you stop eating out, you optimize every bill. Through sheer discipline, you manage to save an extra $500 a month. That feels like a monumental victory. What's the absolute mathematical ceiling on this strategy? It's your current income. You can only save what you earn. The best you can ever do is save 100% of your paycheck, which is impossible. Your savings potential is finite, capped by what you make today. This intense focus on defense, on penny pinching, has a hidden cost. Remember that cognitive load we talked about? A 2024 meta-analysis in the Journal of Economic Psychology, covering over 111,000 people, found it has a direct detrimental effect on cognitive performance. The constant mental energy spent on small-scale financial decisions literally reduces your capacity for complex, long-term thinking. The trap isn't just that frugality is slow. The trap is that it consumes the very mental bandwidth you need to escape. You're so busy playing defense on your own 1-yard line, you can't even see the rest of the field. Now let's look at the other side of the equation, offense. Instead of spending 10 hours a month finding ways to save $50, what if you spent those 10 hours learning a single valuable skill? Let's say that skill adds just $1,500 a month to your income. The math isn't just better, it's in a different universe. Your defensive strategy had a hard ceiling. What's the ceiling on your income? There isn't one. This is the fundamental reframe. You can't save your way out of a burning building. You have to earn your way out. Every financial decision can now be filtered through this lens. Is this playing defense or is this playing offense? Let me know in the comments. Are you on team defense or team offense right now? Is this about saving $1 or is this about creating the capacity to earn 100? The answer isn't to be reckless with your spending. The answer is to stop making frugality your primary strategy for how to build wealth from nothing. It's a tool for survival, not a vehicle for growth. So if saving is just survival, Where does growth come from? It comes from building an engine so powerful it makes the math on saving look like a rounding error. It's time to build your human capital engine. The single greatest financial asset you own isn't in your bank account or your 401k. It's the 12 inches between your ears. We spend our lives protecting our physical assets, our homes, our cars, but we rarely think about our earning power as something we can systematically invest in and grow. When you're starting from zero, the return on investment from upgrading your skills is mathematically infinite compared to the 8 to 10% you might get from the stock market. You are the asset with the most leverage. You are the highest leverage investment you'll ever make. Consider the case of Devon Lindsay. She was working as an administrative assistant, a stable but financially capped position. Instead of focusing on extreme frugality, she made a strategic investment in her own human capital. She attended a coding bootcamp, systematically acquiring a high-demand skill. The result? She quadrupled her salary. This wasn't luck. It was a calculated reallocation of resources, her time and money, away from low-return activities and into a high-return one, building her own earning engine. Or take Temple Naylor. At just 19 years old, without a college degree, he took a similar path through a tech bootcamp. He didn't have decades to wait for compound interest to work its magic. He needed to build his income base now. After graduating, he didn't just get a job, he secured a position as a lead developer. These aren't outliers, they're evidence of a pattern. A report from Course Report found that coding bootcamp graduates see an average salary increase of 56% in their very first job. For those without a bachelor's degree, the increase is even more dramatic, a 77% jump in earnings. These stories are everywhere. What's the biggest skill-based salary jump you've seen in your own industry? Let us know in the comments. This raises a critical question though. It's easy to say, learn a new skill, but how do you know which one is the right one for you in your industry that will actually lead to a significant pay increase? How do you avoid wasting months learning something the market doesn't value? This is where most people get stuck. They guess, they follow trends, they pick a skill that sounds interesting, but there is a systematic, data-driven way to find your specific, high-leverage skill. It's a simple 3-step process you can do in the next 15 minutes. First, go to a major job site like LinkedIn. I want you to search for job titles that are 1 or 2 levels above your current position. Not your dream job in a decade, the next logical step up the ladder, and the one after that. Second, open 10 to 15 of those job descriptions. Ignore the company mission statements and the generic descriptions of the role. Scroll directly to the required skills and preferred skills sections. Your task is to become a data analyst. Create a simple list and start making a tally mark next to every skill you see mentioned that you don't currently possess. Third, after you've analyzed at least 10 postings, a pattern will emerge. 2 or 3 skills will appear over and over again. These are not just random skills, they're the gatekeepers. They are the explicit, market-validated requirements for the income level you want to reach. That short list is your target. That's your high ROI learning path. This isn't theory, it's a direct reflection of market demand. The data confirms this is where the leverage is. A 2026 analysis from Locked In AI found that job postings that simply mention AI skills offer an average salary premium of 28%. Robert Half found that professionals with project management skills can command a premium of 31%. By identifying these skills, you stop guessing and start targeting the exact capabilities the market is willing to pay a premium for. To make this even easier, I've created a 1-page high ROI skill finder worksheet that walks you through this exact process. My name is Pragati Kunwer, and on this channel, Vibe Coding, we break these systems down. The link is in the description. If this framework is already shifting how you think about building wealth, hit the subscribe button because we're about to connect this income engine to the final phase of building real, lasting wealth. As you begin this process, be aware of 3 critical mistakes that can sabotage your progress. The first is trying to learn too many things at once. You'll see 5 valuable skills and try to learn them all simultaneously, becoming a master of none. The goal is depth, not breadth. Pick the single most recurring skill from your analysis and focus on it exclusively until you achieve proficiency. The second mistake is learning in a vacuum. You can't simply watch videos or read books. As you learn, you must immediately find ways to apply the skill. Offer to help with a project at your current job, even for free. Start a small freelance project. Build something. Application is what turns theoretical knowledge into demonstrable experience, which is what you actually get paid for. And the final mistake is neglecting the skills that surround the technical skill. You can be the best coder or designer in the world, but if you can't communicate your value, negotiate your salary, or work with a team, your income will always be capped. Soft skills like communication, sales, and negotiation are the multipliers for your technical abilities. By avoiding these pitfalls and using a systematic approach to skill building, you transform yourself from a passive wage earner into the active CEO of your own career. You build an engine. You've escaped the gravity of broke. You've built your human capital engine. Now, and only now, are you ready to do what everyone else told you to do first? It's time to activate the Wealth Accelerator. Remember the advice to save 10% of your income? That advice wasn't wrong. It was just given in the wrong order. For years, you've tried to make it work on an income that was too small, which felt like trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. The advice failed not because it was bad, but because you were trying to execute step 3 before you had completed step 2. This is the final trap. It's where so many people with high incomes fail. I saw it happen to a friend of mine. We'll call him Mark. Mark was a brilliant software engineer, pulling in over $200,000 a year. He had the powerful engine, but as his income grew, so did his life. The downtown loft, the German sports car, the $5,000 watch, the dinners at restaurants where the menu has no prices. His lifestyle expanded to perfectly match his paycheck. He was running faster than ever, on a much more expensive hamster wheel, but he was still going nowhere. He had a high income, but almost zero net worth. He built a rocket engine, but never pointed it at the sky. The real path to wealth is not just earning more, it's the disciplined combination of a high income with a high savings rate. This is where the traditional advice finally becomes supercharged. Consider the math. Saving 10% of a $60,000 salary is $6,000 a year. It's a noble effort, but at that rate, financial independence is decades away, if it ever arrives at all. Now, apply the sequence. You use the human capital engine to double your salary to $120,000. If you fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation, you're still saving very little. But if you hold your lifestyle constant for just 12 to 24 months, you can now save not 10%, but closer to 50% of your income. That isn't $12,000 a year. It's $60,000 a year directed into investments, into index funds, into real estate, into the assets that work for you. You are now saving 10 times more per year, not because you're better at cutting lattes, but because you solved the income problem first. You've earned the right to make the old advice finally work. Your singular mission, once your income increases, is to create the largest possible gap between what you earn and what you spend, and funnel that entire surplus into the wealth-building machines that the gurus have always talked about. That is the real path. It's not a secret trick, it's a sequence that takes you from psychological pressure to income expansion to automated wealth. That trap you've been in, the one where you're doing everything right and still getting nowhere, the door is now open. It's a 3-phase sequence for how to build wealth from nothing. First, a stability buffer to escape psychological gravity. Second, a human capital engine to systematically increase your income. And only then, third, do you activate the Wealth Accelerator, turning that high income into real automated wealth. A map is useless if you don't take the first step. Your first move tonight is not to save $1. It is not to cut an expense. It is to open your browser, search for the job 2 levels above your current one, and identify the single most valuable skill you are missing. That's it. Find your target. The path out of the trap begins with that one piece of information. Let me know in the comments. What's the number 1 skill that came up in your search?